let's thank retired full Colonel Dryden Pence, who has many military commendations, including a Bronze Star. He's also the CIO of Pence Capital Management. His first Sarge, and now you. Man, veterans are great investors.
Well, we have discipline, and we've learned that, so that's helpful.
Well, that's what Warren Buffett would say. You know, you always ask him, can you repeat? Who can repeat your expertise and your returns over all these years? And Buffett always says, oh, anybody can. They just need to follow what I do. And what makes it so difficult for people to follow what he does is discipline.
Exactly. Exactly. And you learn it in the military. You learn it as you go through, whether you're a private or a general. And that helps. And it's a way of thinking. It's a way of acting. It's a way of doing.
All right. So you're disciplined in the markets. Look at that fine Dryden Pence. Oh, I love that. That is fabulous. All right. Here we go with defense names. And this is your military experience. You are investing in 3 names. What is it about these 3 that has you putting your money behind it?
When you look at Raytheon, you look at GE Aviation, you look at Lockheed Martin, these are the companies that make the hardware, that do the things that are necessary to win on the battlefield. This is what we're going to have. I mean, there's a dome duopoly going on between what we need in Israel, you have Iron Dome, and you have Golden Dome here in the United States. And companies like Raytheon are very key to having that technology, and that's very important. They've got a backlog of like 3 years of orders just for aircraft engines and all the things that they're doing. So this becomes very, very important. These companies are the backbone of our military. They're what our soldiers need. They're what our civilian aviation needs. And they're the companies that really control this.
Well, a lot of people misconstrue the theater of war and peace. And they say, well, if there's a war, these stocks will go up. If there's peace, they won't. That's not quite correct, is it?
No, we're not going to. The world is not going to spontaneously break out and hug each other and do kumbaya. We're going to always have wars. That's just human nature. That's who we are. We have no history of not really having wars every 10 or 15 years. And so you're either in a war, or you're replenishing for a war, or you're preparing for the next one. And preparedness is absolutely important. It's because weakness attracts aggression.
Lockheed Martin. What is it about Lockheed Martin?
They're the largest defense contractor, and they are able to understand, one, how to navigate getting contracts from the U.S. Defense Department, but also they've got their big key in the Golden Dome initiative. That's $542 billion. So they have a backlog of $173 million. That's the equivalent of 2.25 years worth of revenue.
Wow. The Golden Dome, I have sources who I check up with when it comes to the build out of the Golden Dome, which is basically what President Trump wants as a protection system for incoming missiles from, who knows, North Korea, Russia, God forbid, China. They are already bidding for contracts, some of these companies. So has anything actually been set in stone?
They're working through a very significant group of contracts. It comes in series. There's parts of it. You get this part, this R&D portion of it, this preparedness portion of it, all of these things. So while the whole system has not been bid yet, you've got components that are already being in place. And these are the companies that are going to lead to be the prime or the subs on those contracts.
When you look at the Dow here, up 545 points earlier, it was up 600, very close to 48,000. Do you see any correction? People are waiting for a correction. They want to buy stocks on the cheap. It just hasn't happened. I mean, 1% here, 2% there.
The issue is we still have a tremendous amount of money in the system, and earnings are good. If earnings are at an all-time high, it makes sense that the market's at an all-time high. So we have tremendous earnings this year, earnings growth this year, and it looks like we're going to have it next year too. So if you get a correction, I think it's short-lived, and then you buy into it.
Dryden, great to have you, and thank you for your service.